All right, folks, so the sellers are calling it disrespectful. They're claiming that the buyers have lost the dignity and the whole real estate process is out of whack. They don't like it. It doesn't work like that, right? Well, do you guys remember the times of 2021 and 2022? I also have a story to back it up with. But look, like during that time, like bidding wars, lack of listings, and at that time everything was fine. Nobody claimed or said anything how buyers felt, right? Like these buyers were writing like poems, love letters to these sellers. They were overpaying by $300,000, $1 million, whatever they were. The sellers were demanding at the time, and there were no guarantees, right? Like I remember back in the day sitting across the table from buyers and watching their reactions and the pressure, how they were pressured and cornered to take out these weird conditions, like, you know what I mean, like, you know, obviously not weird, but like, you know, home inspection condition and financing condition and all of that stuff, right? They were literally like just cornered, and you would really give it a blank sheet of paper literally as an agreement and say, here you go, just please, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, please give us your price, and I hope we can take it, right? I remember buyers at that time, right, in 2021, this lady, she created literally that love letter, and she posted pictures of them, pictures of their kids. She did research on the nearby school. She did everything possibly. And I think around that time there was somewhere between, you know, 20, 25 offers on the property, because it was hard to count, right? Like, you know, they give you a number, like let's say they give you a 22 offers now, and then in 15 minutes it's like 27 offers. Like that, how quick things would change. And then real estate agents would wait literally last minute in order to submit their offer, because obviously they wanted to know the count, right? And like, it was just a mess. And why would they do that? Because if there are 10 offers on the table, they would, let's say, from the asking price, they would increase by 10%. But if there was like 20 offers on the table, then they would increase it by 20%. How about 30 offers on the table? Then they would increase the offer by 30% roughly, right? So this is what was happening, right? And it was just an enormous pressure, and these sellers did not care much. Like, let me tell you that too, right? Like, it was like, look, that's the market, we don't care, you know, let them pay, we deserve it. I'm like, most of these homes were not even cleaned, right? But the market pushed in that direction, the bank pushed in that direction, and I guess like that was the market value. So now in 2025, things are looking a little bit different. I know that the mainstream media is still holding on, clinging on, that we have a strong economy and all of that stuff. But we are seeing cracks, and these cracks are getting much, much, much deeper, right? And as we go, they will even get even more deeper. So in 2025 now, like I'll tell you a story, first of all. In 2022, these sellers demanded a certain price, right? So they wanted like $2.1 million. And, you know, the offer that got on the table at that time in 2022 was $1.8 million. So it was like $300,000 short of whatever they were asking. But the claim at the time is like, look, the market is slowly shifting. They're announcing different market rate increases and all of that stuff, right? And obviously the sellers at the time, no mercy. Like, they kicked them out. They said, look, you don't belong here, and I want what I want, and I will get it. right? Like they wanted 2.1 million dollars plus if they get into a bidding war, obviously more. So it was just insane, right? And they finally sold the home after clinging on the house for years after that. They sold it in 2025 for $1,390,000, right? So that's one of these situations. You know, the house is not in Toronto. It's 45 minutes to an hour from Toronto. But those were the situations, right? And the demand around Toronto and that area was completely different, right? Then versus today, right? Even around like Collingwood and Wasaga Beach, you know, these guys were building monster homes. You know, they valued that house in 2021 around $4.3 million, right? Stunning, right? Like a beautiful house, big. We're talking 8,000 square feet, right? Awesome. However, you know, they just sold it in 2025 for 2.6. And then you would say, well, who would have thought? And then all these, you know, people that have the other theories when they say, well, you cannot build a house for X, Y, and Z because as per square foot, this is how much money we need and the land value. And no, listen, I get all of that. But if you are in a financial problem, you will sell for a loss, whether you like it or not, right? So nobody is asking you or wanting to help you, right? Like in all these bailouts, right? Like everybody's talking about these bailouts when it comes to the banks and stuff like that. They're like, hey, look, you know, like you know, bailouts are on the way. Well, who cares? I mean, like the banks will be bailed out, whatever. Like I hope they are, because if they go down, like I don't know, but an individual person, it doesn't apply to an individual person. So that's something to kind of consider and see where you are. So again, sellers don't like the situation, even though that the mainstream media and these sellers are still claiming, look, my house is worth a certain amount. But if you ask them a direct question, would you buy your house for the same price? Most of the time they say no. Well, where do you see the value? Like, I don't understand, right? So that's just something like I wanted to share with you guys, because, you know, obviously the market shifted long time ago, and I believe that it will get much more challenging as we are moving forward. So please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.